Did you know that over 85% of people struggle with low self-esteem at some point in their lives? And here's the kicker. Low self-esteem doesn't discriminate. It doesn't matter if you're successful in your career, have a great social life, or even appear confident on the outside. Internally, so many of us are battling fears of inadequacy. I know this because I lived it for years. I felt trapped in my own mind, second-guessing every decision, avoiding challenges, and constantly comparing myself to others. It was exhausting. But here's the truth. Confidence isn't something that's reserved for a lucky few. It's a skill that anyone can develop, including you. Today, I'm sharing the exact steps I use from being insecure and full of self-doubt to becoming somebody who genuinely believes in themselves. And if you stick with me, I promise that you'll leave with tools you can start using to transforming your life too. Number 1, understanding where your insecurity comes from. Before we can tackle insecurity, we need to know where it comes from. Insecurity often stems from 2 places: comparisons and fear. We look at others, whether it's on social media, at work, or even among friends, and think they're better than me. Or why can't I have their life? On the other hand, fear tells us that we're not good enough. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of judgment. For years, I was caught in this cycle. I'd scroll through Instagram, seeing perfectly curated lives, and it made me feel so small. Like no matter what I did, I'd never measure up. The truth is, those comparisons are illusions. Social media shows you highlights, not reality. Recognizing this was my first step towards building confidence. Take a moment to reflect on your biggest triggers for insecurity. Is it social media, work, certain relationships? Write these down. Awareness is the first step to breaking free from these patterns. One resource that could really help is the Confidence Code. It dives deep into the science of confidence and shows you how to break free from these limiting beliefs. I've linked it below and I recommend you check it out. I remember avoiding social events because I felt like I didn't belong. My insecurity told me that everybody else was more successful, better dressed, and led more interesting lives, were far more interesting than I was. It wasn't until I started questioning those thoughts that I then realized most of those fears were in my head. Once I recognized that, I could then start challenging them. Number 2, rewrite the stories that you tell yourself. We all have an inner dialogue. For many of us, it's not very kind. Imagine if a friend told you you'll never be good enough or you're going to fail. Would you keep them around? Probably not. But for years, I was saying these things to myself. I realized that if I wanted to build confidence, I had to become my own biggest supporter, not my worst critic. Start by catching your negative self-talk. When you hear yourself thinking, I'm not good enough, challenge it. Ask, is this really true? Then replace it with a positive affirmation like I am capable and I deserve success. Write these affirmations down and repeat them daily. It's a game changer. Let me tell you about a pivotal moment for me. I used to be terrified of public speaking. The thought of standing in front of people made my heart race. But I started small, repeating affirmations like I'm confident and capable of expressing myself. Slowly, I then built up the courage to speak up in meetings, then small groups, and eventually at major events. Today, public speaking is something that I actually enjoy. That transformation started with shifting my internal dialogue. Number 3, building small wins. Confidence doesn't come from big successes. It's built through small wins that are then repeated over time. For me, that started with setting manageable goals. Things like introducing myself to somebody new, sharing my ideas in a meeting, or even trying something that scared me a little. Each small win built my momentum, and over time, those little victories added up to big changes. This week, try setting one small specific goal that pushes you out of your comfort zone. Maybe it's saying hi to a coworker that you don't know well, or tackling a task that you've been avoiding. Celebrate your achievement, no matter how small it feels. Another resource that helps so many stay consistent is Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's all about how small habits can lead to massive results. You're ready to start building confidence through small actions. I highly recommend it. The link's in the description below. I remember the first time I volunteered a project at work. I was nervous, but I kept telling myself, this is a chance to grow. And guess what? It went well. That small moment gave me the courage to take on bigger challenges down the line. Confidence is built one step at a time. Number 4, take self-development seriously. When I decided to transform my life, I made a commitment to invest in myself. That meant reading books, attending workshops, and joining challenges that pushed me to grow. One of the most impactful steps that I took was the 30-day self-love challenge. It forced me to prioritize myself in ways that I never had before, and the results were life-changing. If you're ready to start your own journey, I've created a 30-day self-love challenge, which you can grab in the description below. It's a perfect starting point for anybody that's ready to commit to self-development. Number 5, build a supportive community. Who you surround yourself with matters far more than you think. For years, I stayed in circles that drained me. People who were quick to criticize and slow to show support. When I started connecting with people that inspired me, I began to see myself in much more of a positive light. Confidence thrives in a supportive environment. This week, take a moment to reflect on the people in your life. Are they building you up, or are they tearing you down? Seek out communities online or in person that align with your values and your goals. You deserve to be around people who believe in you. I joined an online self-development group, and it was one of the best decisions that I ever made. Being around like-minded people who were also working on their confidence was incredibly empowering. It reminded me that I wasn't alone in my journey, and their support helped me push through challenges. Number 6, gratitude changes everything. Gratitude is one of the simplest, most powerful ways to shift your mindset. When you focus on what you're grateful for, it's impossible to stay stuck in insecurity. Gratitude trains your brain to see abundance instead of scarcity. Every night, write down 3 things that you're grateful for. It could be a small smile from a stranger, or as big as reaching a personal milestone. This practice rewires your brain to focus on the positives in your life. If you're enjoying these tips, you'll also love my video on 5 ways to look more confident even when you're struggling. I dive even deeper into practical tips for showing up as your most confident self. You can click above to watch it next, and I'll attach it in the description below. Number 7, keep showing up. Confidence isn't a destination, it's a journey. There are still days when I feel insecure, but now I have the tools to push through. The key is consistency. Keep celebrating your wins and keep showing up even when it's hard. Over time, those small actions will create a ripple effect, transforming your entire life. Pick one of the steps we've covered today and commit to practicing it for the next 30 days. Confidence grows with repetition, so don't stop even when it feels uncomfortable. If you're ready to take control of your confidence, the best time is to start now. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content. Remember, confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about believing you're enough just as you are. And don't stop here. You can also check out my next video on how to build a relationship with yourself. It's a perfect follow-up to today's discussion. I'll see you there.